I made an AI. So I was thinking about what can I do as a project. And I thought, why not? I want to learn about AI. So why not make an AI that makes me money, right? That will be the heck of the life if I can make it. And yeah, many people tried it and mostly failed. Some people succeeded, but we don't know what happened to me. So let's go. I'll take you to the journey of my crypto trading AI. So first of all, I need to set what do I trade. I just went with crypto. Because, Bitcoin. Because, it's the most volatile market. Why not get the big banks? And also, might be the most profitable one. So we are gonna do crypto trading. And as for the beginning, I'll only do Bitcoin to dollar, basically. And we all know that just buying Bitcoin is the simplest action to make. Because we know that Bitcoin is the winner. Okay, so we will basically compare our algorithm with that. I will compare it to that. The goal is to basically, I'll set a time interval, 2 years. Okay, this doesn't really matter. I make this 2 years, but this doesn't really matter because we will take daily actions. The goal in 2 years, my small AI, my friendly robot, EXD, this is the AI, should make more money than the legendary, the god himself, the most epic thing that is ever said in the human history. And let's give some monies. So basically we start with $500, and at the end of 2 years, just Bitcoin, just hodling, gives us $2,500. Okay, so we need to beat this. So we need to make, our XD boy needs to make $2,501. And that will be big rich movement. That will be the most epicest thing. Let's start with the best, the most epic algorithm. Genetic algorithm. Yay. So it's with biology and shit. And honestly, there are so many better videos that explains better than me, and I would suggest the code bullets video. I will link it down, but still, let's go over it through our AI. So what I did, so basically we have a simulation
inside a simulation and inside a simulation.
So every morning when the sun rises and the day is beautiful, our AI looks at the price, the high of the candlestick, the candles that's the ones are like this.
The Bitcoin is like this, and it usually goes like this, and then it's probably something like this,
Yeah, whatever. The high of it, the low of it, the average, last 10 days, last 20 days, last 30 days, and some other data about like the volume. Yeah, you get it. Some data. And all these values are normalized according to the price. So it's high over price, volume over price. So the price doesn't really
affect the price. The ratios affect the price more.
And that might be completely bullshit. But I thought it's a good idea, so I went with it. So these are basically our data ints. If we imagine the AI as a function, all these values are just the input. And our end function will be something wanky like this. And let's say the weights are here. The constants are here. These are all the functions, okay? So each of these data points connect to here. And there's this, another node. And in this one, we add all of them up. So x plus x1 plus x2, blah, 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 in all of this to here. Also, there's another node in here that like connects this. They're all connected. This is called neural network. So basically a genetic neural network. So these, I decided that this, and this is our genetics. So these numbers will change with the genetic algorithm, the biology shit. And this neural network what ends up happening gives us two outputs, from all here. two outputs. One of them is to buy Bitcoin, and one of them is to sell Bitcoin. Because, I thought for certain you cannot know if a stock is gonna go up or gonna go down. For certain. No way. I don't believe that. So what I said, the best isn't the best way. It's just to put where your math is. So if you believe that with 90% chance it's gonna go up, put your 90% of money and ride the sky. But if you think 80% it's gonna go down, why not just buy with 20%? If it ends up going down, you can buy because since you have dollar aside, and if it ends up going up, you are up. So maybe you can sell and then ride the waves like a fucking jacuzzi, man.
The waves are amazing, dude.
And we have our genetics. And our genetics basically represents the neural network, which is basically our brain. Can you believe that? That's basically the decision maker in the fucking simulation.
Inside a simulation, and inside a simulation.
So every day there's a new data in, we give that to our brain, and our brain says buy 0.69 Bitcoin. And brain says buy 0.31% dollar. Am I right? Yes. And at the end of the day, the player does that. At the end of the day, we buy whatever we have. If you have $500 with 69% of it, we buy Bitcoin, and with the rest of it, we buy dollar. And the next day comes. The next day we give again the same daily data, and you make the choice. So you convert everything back to dollar and then buy according to what it says again. And in here, I actually gave a 0.01 or like 0.05, something like that. Like a realistic percent of loss due to trading. So every trade that you make makes you lose money. This is important because in real life exchanges do that. And I let it run. I let run my baby boy. And in genetic algorithms, you make bebes. And what isn't better than making bebes? Because bebes are nice. And the way we make the bebes, we just get all the genes, basically the weights, the constants, the blockers, and then add them all up in order, of course, with the parents. So basically they are having sex, and average it. Just average it. So over 2. And there's a chance of mystery points, mutations, because that's epic. And I let it run with 2% mutation, if I remember right. Whatever. And I had about 500 population. So there's 500 individuals, and every round we have a reward function. That's the most important part of it. But for us, our reward function is basically how much money we made or how much money did the market make since we started. So our point is to beat the market. And the best from those 500 people, 500 players, 500 beautiful brains, we take the top 50, because only the top 50 is the best. And from that top 50, we just pass the 250 to the next generation as a new person, and each individual in this 250 gets to have a bebe. Can you imagine? You get to have a bebe with everyone. Everyone makes bebe. Everyone.
Only if you're in the top 50 though. So in order to make bebe, you need to be in the top 50. Just like life.
True.
There's some mutations. You choose your mate. I actually put time in this. Okay. What should happen is, if you're the best, you should make bebes with the best. Best loves best. But no, best doesn't love best. Best loves top. So out of his
community, religion, and place, our individual chooses the person that was close to him or her, but also can be lower, can be higher. It's just a chance, a game of chance, just like life.
True.
But of course, in between a range.
loves best plus minus chance. So let's see how much money did he make. And this is the result. So this amazing graph shows something that I don't really like. And we started at 500, as you can see around here. And the first one got, I would say, around 600, maybe 650. The second one got around that too, kind of the same. Third one, kind of the same. You know, I was expecting more from 500
Bebes.
working all together. But after all, they are mebes, and they are shit, and they all performed like shit. And I ran this for fucking 10 generations. Now you might ask if you know.
Hey, Sir Ape, isn't 10 generations too little? Like, after all, you know, it's not like my ancestors had just like 10 times 6 and I ended up here.
And I would say you're right. Exactly. But because I'm a dumb fuck, I decided that I would just make the whole shit by myself. And instead of using fast, convenient, beautiful matrices and just like a straight array way of implementing shit, I used classes. Normally you would have the weights in an array, in a maybe 2D, maybe 3D array with long fucking numbers because they are your genetics, you know.
In short, I am 2 IQ, and there was a more efficient way to implement this, but I didn't implement this because I am 2 IQ. There's not much to say. But there are some improvements that can be made to improve this genetic algorithm now that I see, and we might take those improvements in future.
But of course, we are not satisfied with this number. We gotta at least get it above 1000, man. Above 1000. Come on. At least let's make it double, dude. I mean, we can see that 2500. We need to hit this spot. We need to go beyond. But come on, dude. I can't think. So after talking with some of my friends, one of my friends just straight up said like, Emre, you're a Dumbo. Why don't you just use a normal neural network with a fucking normal optimizer that is called Adams, and I don't fucking know. I have no idea. I understand the neural network. We explained in there. It's like the bubbly shitty thingy. But instead of using a reward function that we talked about and like made bebes, in this one there is no rewards. There's labels, and I labeled basically all of my data. So in day one the price was, let's say, 3k, and if the next day the price is 4k, this is good. You buy on this. You buy. If this goes down, you sell on this data. You sell. You bad. You bad. Puh, puh, puh. Amazing, right? Amazing. And with this AI, since we labeled the data as like this, then we know which one to choose. We know what to make. So after running the neural network with the same data inputs, with the fucking Kara's beautiful thing that I literally coded at max 10 lines for the fucking neural network. In the other one that I used classes with all the fucking making bebes and every shit. This one was pretty easy. It was easy work, honestly, because I already had the simulation, so I didn't need to change much. Of course, I had to change something because before the buying was with percentages, but instead of that, you're just 100% buying, 100% selling, because you know you better get big or go home. And now, here comes Money Boy 2. Yeah, as you can see, the Money Boy 2 is increased a lot from the 500 we start. Money Boy is rich, and from the 600-ish monies that we passed, Money Boy is around 14.5k actually. Money Boy is amazing. $500, dude. 1,450, amazing, bro. But as we know, there's still 1,050 missing, and that's a lot. But look at the improvement though. The improvement is real.
And yeah, that was it. And for the improvements, I might use a library for the model. Right now I'm creating my own model, which is not that good, I think. And another thing is about fixing the genetic algorithm. That should be easy if I use a library that will be optimized. And maybe another improvement could be that I could add real economic indicators for the model input. For example, Fibonacci sequence, resistance, supports, historical resistance supports, stuff like that. And I will share the code down so you can browse through my shitty code, maybe improve on it. I don't know. It might be useful. It probably won't be. It's bad code. And yeah,
Please subscribe.
please subscribe. Please. See you.